Hello everybody, welcome back to the table. Got a brand new knife for you, and this particular one is very timely because this is my first knife from Kansept Knives. This is the Little Main Street. And just in time for 4th of July, we have the Little Main Street with this American Flag G10 handles on it. So I figured I'd share this with everybody and just give you my thoughts on this knife and make some quick comparisons. So the Little Main Street right here, like I said, this is my first knife from Kansept Knives. And I'm going to say it Kansept for the remainder of this video, but it is a small everyday carry knife. We have a blade length here of about 2¼ inches. And getting a close-up look at that, we can see that this has a logo on there from Kansept Knives, kind of a funky little design there. We also have the blade steel listed, and this is a 154 cm steel. And that's kind of uncommon to see on a Chinese-produced knife, but it is there, so kind of cool to see. Reverse side has the Dirk Pinkerton logo because he is the designer of this knife, as well as a serialized part number right here, because as far as I can tell, this was a limited run of 100 of these knives that were produced. And of course the model named the Little Main Street. And the name kind of fits the knife very well because of course when we think of Main Street, I think of Main Street USA, Disneyland, very Americana, and so the American flag kind of fits the bill here. So, of course, the irony is not lost on me before anyone mentions it in the comments. I totally get it. This is an American flag on a Chinese-produced knife. I totally get it. So, I sympathize with you there. But it is available. It is a limited run, and I really do like the design of it. And as of making this video, it looks like it's still in stock at Knifeworks. So, I'll leave a link in the description below for that if it's still there when you see this video. But let's make some quick comparisons with the Kansept Knives Little Main Street. So first off, I'm going to show you a few different reverse tanto blades. So this one right here being the Protech Malibu. Let's take a close-up look at these blade shapes and you can see the comparisons there. The Little Main Street has a black-coated blade and an acid wash on the Malibu. Of course, size-wise, full-size knife versus a very small everyday carry knife. And even for some, the Malibu is considered a small knife. But another smaller knife, we have the Kershaw Leek, and this is the Tanto Leek. So let's take a comparison there, side by side, as you can see. And taking a closer look at the blade, let's take a look at those grinds. So again, the random Leek here has a black wash blade, and you can see again, reverse Tanto tips, very similar in overall shape. Although the Leek is a bit thinner, as you can see. Another few comparisons before we get to the details of the knife itself. This is the CRKT Squid. Let's just do a side-by-side. Give you an idea of what this knife looks like in comparisons to another small everyday carry knife. So the CRKT Squid right here. Taking a look at that one. As well as another CRKT model. This is the CRKT Pilar. So you can take a look at these three knives side by side. Small everyday carry knives, perfect for just keeping with you. All very lightweight, very unobtrusive, but a lot of cutting potential here. So the Little Main Street, it's a pretty nice knife. A lot of nice little details went into this one. We can see the pocket clip right here. It has a sculpted clip. So this is pretty uncommon. Most of the time you see these, stamped steel clips on these knives. But this one is a nice sculpted clip. I don't think it's steel because it doesn't attract a magnet, but I can't find it being called titanium on any of the specs anywhere. So it possibly is a titanium pocket clip here. When you open the knife, what's really cool is you look inside the handle and we see skeletonized liners. So they did everything they could to reduce the weight on this knife. And as a result, it does come in at about 1.8 ounces, which is a little bit heavier than the advertised 1.49 they call it. But I did want to double check just for the viewers so you guys can know for sure. The centering on the blade right here is very good, and that is, just as it was when I opened the box. Came out very nice despite all my fidgeting. The blade runs on bearings, and so it is very smooth once it's open. The blade does drop right shut. So there's that. My only issues with the knife, I have two kind of small problems with the Little Main Street. My first one is opening the knife. There's really not enough of a cutout, in my opinion, around the thumb stud here to get your thumb in there and get a positive opening every time. The fact that it's on bearings helps when you do finally get that connection, but the fact that there's no cutout or no way to reduce the space in here makes it just a very close cut opening. And this is a thumb stud knife, so there's no flipper, no alternate way to open it other than just pinching it open. But the fact that you're relying on these thumb studs mean they need to be, you know, surefire every time. And as you can see, they are flush with the handles, so that helps with carrying it, but it does make it a little bit more of a chore to open. It does get better as I've been carrying it around and using it around the house. It's been better in that regard, but especially first thing out of the box that I noticed is that sometimes your thumb doesn't quite engage with that thumb stud all the way. So there's a niggle there. My other small issue with this knife is when closing it, we can see there is a liner lock. When you're closing it with your thumb, sometimes in this gap right here, it's going to pinch the skin on your thumb. So the tip of your thumb is going to get a little bit of a pinch in there because it's just a tight clearance. And so maybe your fingers aren't as fat as mine, so that won't be an issue for you. But it is something I noticed when opening and closing the knife repeatedly. I mean, the good news is the lockup is solid. You can see the liner right there is right where it needs to be. There's no play. And as much as I fidgeted with this knife, no play has developed. So it's been really good in that regard. So if this knife has any interest to you, I think getting this kind of variant of it, where it's kind of unique, has an American flag on it, I think that's going to appeal to a lot of people. And I thought they sold out of it, but as I'm making this video, I can see it on their website right now. It says add to cart, so possibly still available. But if not, these are just my thoughts on the little Main Street from Kansept Knives. If you have any questions about this knife, feel free to leave a comment below. You know, what do you think about the Chinese-made American flag knife? Again, I know that's opening a can of worms. Totally get it. So let me know your comments below. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.